Hi everyone, how's it going? My name is Darren Dulovich. On behalf of MORFIT Training Center, I will be guiding you through a 30-minute cardio class that you could do with next to no equipment except for your water bottle. So we're going to warm up a little bit first. Let's just do some light hopping in space. You don't really need to drive those knees up yet. We just want to get our heart warmed up, our joints, our muscles. Make sure you have enough space in front, behind, and to the side for today's class. If you don't have as much space as I do, then you can always tighten up on some of the movement patterns so that you can work with the space that you have. For example, with the side skipping, you can just keep on going back and forth inside a room. If you don't have the space, then you could try jumping from side to side a little bit. Okay, so a couple more seconds of this. Okay, now we'll warm up our arms, our shoulder girdle a little bit. So we're going to start with arm circles. Doesn't matter if you start clockwise or counterclockwise. We're going to start off with big circles. Then we're going to move our arms out to the side and get those tighter circles going on. And then we can go with full round circles again. And we're going to do the same thing in the reverse direction as well. Large, too short, too large. Okay, one more big one. Okay, now we're going to go into our tabletop position. So hands, knees, and feet on the ground. And we are going to start with the cat camel. So with the cat, we want to bring our hips and our chin as close to our body as possible. Then we want to flare out, so we want to stick our hips up and out, and we want to raise our chin out as well. Okay, round the back and extend the back. Going to do it one more time. Okay, we are going to gently round the back, and we are going to gently extend the back. Okay, stay in this tabletop position. We are now going to do our bird dogs. So we're going to be alternating our hand and leg for which goes up. So I'm going to start with my right hand, my right arm, and my left leg, engaging at the hips. We're just going to want to stick our limbs out in front of us. So right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg, right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg, and we are going to do one more of these bird dogs. Okay, excellent. Okay, next thing we are going to do is something a little bit different. I didn't show you this last week. It's called a prisoner stretch. So we are going to go down onto our tummy, having our palms facing towards the ceiling. We're going to put our hands behind our lower back and hips. And then what we are going to do is that we are going to slowly extend our arms out from the side. Once we get into a T shape, we want to rotate our palms so our palms are facing towards the ground. And then we want to bend at the elbows and place our hands behind our head. So going back to the T position, palms down, then palms up and behind our lower back. Okay, so once again, palms facing up from our lower back. We're going to bring ourselves to a T position, have the palms face down, put them behind our heads, and we are going to extend our arms out again, rotate our palms up, and then one more time behind our back. Okay. Last thing I would like to do with you is a speed skater. So with your feet a little less than shoulder length apart, we want to have our hands together. And we just want to hinge at the hips. We could give ourselves a little nice bend in the knees if we want. So there shouldn't be any rounding of the back. Think of how tall and straight your back is when you're standing up. This is how your back should feel at the start of the speed skater stretch. So from this position, we are going to raise our arms straight out from the side of us, reaching up as high as we can. And we are just going to alternate between right and left sides, making sure to keep that core engaged so that your back doesn't round on you. You want to feel a nice little stretch on your hamstrings, so you're activating those. Get one more in, 9 and 10. Okay, let's have a little bit of water before we really start to get into the cardio training. Okay. First thing I'll have you do are mountain climbers, and then we'll transition into fire hydrants. So with the 2 exercises, they'll be done in our tabletop positions. So feet, knees, and hands to the floor. And with the mountain climbers, we want to drive our knees forward, just like so. And so we'll start our 30 seconds now. Alternate between left and right hand sides. We want to feel a good shoulder stacking so that our shoulders are a stable joint in this exercise. You can drive your knees up as high as you want, or you can go as fast as you want. 5 more seconds of this, and then we'll switch over to our fire hydrants. Okay, so with our fire hydrants, we are just going to rotate our leg out to the side until we get a 45-degree angle up here. And then we'll go with our left side, and we'll alternate sides as we do these. If you want something harder, you can do the fire hydrants in the bear stance, which is where your knees are lifted up. So you can do something like this. Okay, 30 seconds of fire hydrants now. Okay. Your range of motion is good if you feel a slight tug in your inner thighs. For those that are doing the bear claw, the bear position, you'll find it a little bit more difficult to have a stable stance. And that's 30 seconds. So that'll be our first one is mountain climbers and the fire hydrants. Okay, now we can stand up, and then we'll do jumping jacks into speed skaters. So again, with jumping jacks, modify your intensity as needed. And 30 seconds of jumping jacks. This is not necessarily new from last week, but this is still a great cardio piece to be had. Ten more seconds of jumping jacks. And you can stop. Okay, next thing we'll do are speed skaters. So you could jump from one side and cross your leg over. And then you can hop out of that. You can cross the other leg over. If you want something less intense, then you could just jump side to side if you like. Okay, so we'll do 30 seconds of speed skaters now. You want a slight bend at your hips as well, keeping your core engaged at all times. Your knees should feel okay. They should be tracking with your feet. If you feel too much pressure on your knees, then you're probably doing these a little bit too intense. Okay, last one. Okay, next thing we are going to do, now that we worked in this plane of motion, we are going to work in this plane of motion now. So we'll be doing Charlestons and knee pulls. So with the Charleston, we want to kick forward and then step back with the opposite leg. So 30 seconds of those and go. You can start with either side of the leg that you want. We'll switch over to the other leg at the halfway point, which is now. So start kicking with your other leg, step back, kick, stand, kick, and back. Couple more of these. Okay, next thing are knee pulls. So rotating from left and from right to left. We want to bring our knee up as we're pulling ourselves up from a pull-up, if you can imagine that. Switch sides, rotate to the other side. And 30-second knee pulls and now. So alternating between our right and left side. Driving those knees up as much as we can. Getting as much arm movement as possible. 10 more seconds of this. Last ones, and good. Okay, next thing we are going to do are burpees and our bicycle crutches. So with burpees, you want to start standing up, bend down, get your hands in front of your feet, and then you want to push your legs out back into the top of a push-up position. Then you want to drive your knees forward, and then you want to stand up. If you want to jump while you're standing up, you most certainly can. And 30 seconds of burpees is now. All right, good job, class. Keep it up. Halfway there. Okay, push up, drive your knees forward, and stop. Okay, last thing to do are bicycle crutches. So we'll go on our back for this one. We want to make sure that we're keeping in contact with the ground with our lower back. We don't want the lower back to lift up at all. We want it to stay nice on the ground. So you can get yourself into a crutch position where you basically have your head about 6 inches off the ground, have your core engaged. You can have your hands up if you get a better sense of it. Then you can bend your knees towards your body. And then you just want to go in a bicycle kind of scenario where you're where you're making circles with your feet. So we're going to do 30 seconds of bicycle crutches now. Making sure that we keep contact between our lower back and our crutch and our floor. So this is good. My hands can't go under. Making sure you're not craning at the neck. 10 more seconds of these. Really good core ab exercise here. 3, 2, 1, and stop. You can set up, you can get some water now. Okay, so now we're going to strain all these 8 exercises together. And we are going to do them for a minute each. So make sure that you watch your intensity so that way you can do the entire exercise without having to miss out too much. Just remember the talk test. If you could talk through something, but if you can't sing, then you're going at a moderate intensity. If you can talk in half sentences only, you're starting to work out pretty vigorously. If you can't say any words at all, then you're going too intense and you should probably back it off a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to prime ourselves up by jogging into space. So we'll do mountain climbers, and then our fire hydrants. Remember, you could do the bear stance if you want something more intense. And then we'll be doing jumping jacks and speed skaters. Okay? So get ready to do mountain climbers. You can get into position in your tabletop position. Okay, going to start. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1 minute of mountain climbers. Make sure your back is nice and straight for this one. Always keeping that core engaged. And making sure that we're not having too much strain on our shoulders. Okay, we're about 25 seconds in, or 20 seconds out, I should say. Man, this floor's slippery. I don't know if any of you have this problem too. 5 seconds. Okay, now we can do our fire hydrants, starting with the left leg, sticking out the right leg, left and right. This is a good time to catch a breather if you need to. This is what it looks like from the front. I'm going to do 5 more seconds of these ones. I'm going to do them in the bear stance. So my knees are up off the ground. It's easier to do these if you start with your legs as close together as possible. 10 more seconds. Okay, and then off to jumping jacks. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get a pretty good sweat going on. How are you guys doing over there? I don't see you, but I'm proud of you. I promise you that. All right, let's keep it going. Remember the talk test. 30 seconds out. Keep on going. 40 seconds, that's very good. Notice I'm talking a half sentences just about. It's a little tricky. Okay, 5 more seconds of jumping jacks, and then we're off to our speed skaters, okay? So we're going to jump to our right, curtsy with our left, jump to the left, curtsy with our right foot, Or if you want something less intense, you could just step back and forth, maintaining a quarter squat position, making sure that core is engaged, not rounding out the back. Kind of think that you still want to keep your chest high for this one. You want to go too low. You want to keep it nice and high so that you remain more stable. Okay, now to go for some of these. Remember, always work your breathing. Make sure you breathe through all of these. Okay, we're going to stop for water for 30 seconds. If you're not grabbing water, you could just jog in space. Okay, turns out I didn't have any water left. Okay, so then we are going to start with our Charlestons into knee pulls, starting with Charlestons, starting with kicking our right foot out, now, and stepping back with our left leg, out with right, back with left. Make sure you get into a nice lunge position by not stepping back too much. You just want to kind of step back just a little bit, not as much as you think you should. Take it nice and slow. Concentrate on your balance. Okay, now we're going to start kicking out with our left foot and stepping back with our right. Out left, back right. Okay, 15 seconds left. And then we'll go on to our knee pulls. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and knee pulls. So drive your knee up while also pulling yourself up that imaginary pull bar. This is a good one to take nice and easy if you need to. We all work our own tempos. We all work with the responses that our body gives us. This will all feel very easy over the course of these classes. Get your aerobic conditioning up, get used to the movement patterns. 15 more seconds of these, and then we move on to everyone's favorite, the burpees. Okay, 5 seconds, and then a full minute of burpees. Starting now. Remember to keep your feet together when you go into that push-up position. For something less intense, you can just stand up. Okay, 30 more seconds. When you get to the top of the push-up position, think, am I making a straight line with my shoulders, hips, and feet? You don't want to feel yourself collapsing or sticking your hips up more than you have to. Get one more of these in, and then we'll go on to our bicycle kicks. Remember to keep your upper back just slightly off the floor and making sure that you keep your lower back in contact with the floor. You can use your hands for positioning if you like. You can kick your legs as vigorously as you want. Okay, got 30 more seconds of these. Okay, come on, 30 more seconds. All right, keep it going. Try to keep that head up. If you can't keep your head up anymore, if you just want to do the kicks, that's okay. 3 more seconds. All right, and we are done. Whew. All right, take some water if you like. We'll be moving on to our stretches soon. Okay, so we learned a couple new pieces today, as well as revisiting some of the more vigorous pieces that I prescribed to you last week. So give yourselves a pat on the back for going through 8 straight minutes of, basically doing a little bit of everything. Why we want to work as many planes of motion as possible, so that's great. Okay, now we're going to cool ourselves off with some nice stretching. We are going to start off with the child's pose. So once again, we are going to have ourselves sitting on our feet with our legs flared out as so. And then with our arms straight in front of us, we just want to get our body down to the ground, tuck our head in a little bit, and hold this position for about 5 good breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, we are going to transition to our Cobra. So we are going to start off with our body at the bottom of a push-up position, and then we just want to extend our back a little bit. So push up with our arms as needed. You don't have to go into crazy back extension here. You just want to be able to feel a nice little tug. Okay, we're going to work our way out, and I'm going to show you how to do a 90-90 stretch. So basically, we want to make 2 90-degree angles with our legs. So my right leg, I have my upper leg going directly out in front of me, and for my back leg, it is my upper leg is parallel with my lower leg, and I'm having a 90-degree bend at my left leg as well. We want to bend our body forward in line with our femur, with our right upper leg. So we are going to lean forward, having our arms out in front of us, and we're going to bend down until we feel a slight tug at our abductors. If I turn around, you should feel a stretch right here. So we'll go down for 5 good breaths. We don't want to feel any tingling, just a nice tug. Okay, so now we are going to switch our leg positioning so that our left upper leg is pointed out from us, 90-degree bend. Our right femur is in line with our left shank, and we got a 90-degree bend here, falling in line with our upper leg of the left leg. Going back down, get on our 5 good breaths. Everyone should be feeling like they're coming down pretty nice. Okay, we can slowly rise out of this. Last stretch that we could do today is a chest stretch. So if you have a wall or a door frame or anything where you can lean up against, well, be able to step forward a little bit. So basically we want to make a 90-degree bend with our body and our arm throughout. Gonna place my forearm with a open fist because it gives me more stability. And then I'm just going to step my right leg forward a little, and I'm just going to stretch out. Feel a nice stretch in my pectoral, my pec muscles. And we'll switch sides. When you stretch, you don't really want to move forward from when you first felt the good stretch. You just want to keep it nice and held here. One more breath. And that concludes today's class. So thank you for checking out the second live stream class for cardio exercises with me. I'll see you next week on Wednesday at 5:30. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And thanks for joining. Bye for now.